Couple of people texting in there. The dip beam is the only chargeable bulb on the cars. A measurement is taken on the machine. And other people saying that the Waterford Centre is fully functional for a few weeks. Other people still texting about Fianna Fáil. If Fianna Fáil insist on denying the people what they voted for, then they better start implementing changes and improvements in housing, homelessness, etc. We need to give them not a mandate, but a warning. A warning. There you are now. How's it going, Shane?
Not too bad, Damien.
Thanks for coming into us.
Thanks for inviting me.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. You're a fisherman and you're based out of Dunmore East.
A fisherman, yeah. Fished in Dunmore East since 1985.
1985?
Yeah.
And on the line, I think we're going to have, you can get your headphones there beside you, take one of those headphones. We're going to have Johnny Woodlock. Good morning, Johnny.
Morning.
Thanks very much for joining us. I know you're up at different meetings and I appreciate you coming in. You're on the line up there in Dublin. Johnny, you are with the Irish Seal Sanctuary, are you?
That's right, yeah. And we're trying to work with the fishermen to resolve the problems that they're having.
Okay.
I also sit on an inshore reef, an inshore fisheries forum.
Okay, well, let me ask then.
Go ahead.
Let me ask. I'm going to ask Shane McIntyre. Shane, we're talking about seals.
Yeah.
We're talking about potential culling of seals.
Management, I would like to.
Management of seals, not culling.
Yeah.
Well, management, okay. What's the problem? Talk to me. What is your problem with seals?
The problem with seals is depredation. We go to fish.
What does that mean?
They literally take the fish out of the nets. That's basically it. And we can't sell the fish. We can't. It's not fit for human consumption. So we have to dump it, basically. And when I started fishing, seal was depredation was very non-existent. But I packed up gill netting in about 7 years ago because we were just losing all our catch to seals. We used to target monkfish for 3 months of the year, and it got to the stage where it just wasn't viable.
I'll bring you in now in a second, Johnny. I'm just going to ask Shane a little bit more. Are you saying, Shane, that the seal population has increased exponentially?
Oh, yeah.
And then the damage to the nets and to the fish has increased as well?
Correct.
Like, how can you prove this?
Well, you go down to the Blaskets or anywhere like that, and there are just thousands of them there. Like, go to Dunmore East, you'd see 3 or 4 of them in the harbour. Go down along the coast. If the boat leaves the harbour, you're guaranteed to have 4 or 5 seals going with you. Like, that was never the case before.
Johnny Woodlock, has the seal numbers increased exponentially off our coasts?
I wouldn't say exponentially, but seal numbers have definitely increased. The Parks and Wildlife Service are very poorly resourced, so I think we only have an official count, an official census about once every 5 years, and over the last few years this has consistently shown an increase. There's no argument that seals will take a dead fish or a bite out of a dead fish if it's hanging in a net. I sit on the Marine Institute Seal Depredation Group, and as I say, we're trying to work with industry, UCC, the Marine Institute and the Parks and Wildlife Service to resolve this problem. Previously I worked as a fishery officer off Dublin, off the east coast, and I have seen 19 fish heads hanging in a net. So there's no doubt that they will take an easy meal. But in saying that, if a fish is left hanging in a net, so will a crab, so will a lobster, so will a conger eel. Anything that scavenges on the seabed will take an easy meal. So it's very hard to say conclusively that these damaged fish are all caused by seals.
Shane, just let Shane come in there now, Johnny. Thanks.
Johnny, I have brought observers fish with me back in the middle 90s. A woman done a thesis with me. Her name was Maria Gibson, and I have yet to see a report for that we done this over 3 years, especially with monkfish, and the seals will take live fish. It doesn't have to be dead. But the thing about it is, people are saying, fishermen, this isn't happening. Yet none of these people, like, I'll take anyone, well, I don't know because we don't gill net anymore, but I'd say any gill netting boat in the coast would take people out to see what damages have been done by seals. And I hear people blaming super trawlers and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's just a joke, like. We don't want to wipe out seals, but you have to be able to live. They have to eat, so do we.
Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, but fishermen and seals have coexisted for generations. The numbers of seals have increased, and our belief is that while we're opposed to a cull, that we need to look into alternative forms of management for the population.
Yeah, it has to be done. It has to be managed.
Okay,
we're doing that at the moment.
Let's get this straight then. Yeah, we have some information there that you've said a different welfare approach concerning increasing numbers, and it effectively is like an injection for female seals. So the first thing is, you agree, Johnny, that the seal numbers, would you say, is out of control?
I wouldn't say it's out of control. You have to remember that grey seals, which are the ones that really are causing the problems, they're protected both under Irish law and under EU law.
Yeah.
In 1914, it was thought there were 500 grey seals were left in the world. They were thought to be extinct in North America. So their range is very limited. And even now, despite the increase in numbers, there's probably more African elephants than there are grey seals because their distribution is very limited.
And what do you have to say to the likes of Shane and other fishermen that they believe their livelihoods are being put in doubt because of seals?
The Marine Institute has looked into this and has given advice. If a seal hears a boat starting up its net hauler, that sounds like a dinner bell to them. So the advice that the Marine Institute has given is that the soak time should be as short as possible. In other words,
it doesn't work, Johnny.
Okay, let Shane come back in there.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. The minute your gear goes in the water, if you use seals with your boat, that's it. They'll start eating straight away. The very first fish that hits that net is gone. And we bring in the heads and torn carcasses. It's been all over the country. Down in Dingle now and down in Kerry, it's an epidemic at the moment. And there was a protest there last week or the week before about it. And it's just crazy, like. This thing of seals only eat... If you've 1,000 seals, a seal eats its own body weight every day to survive.
No, I don't think you're correct in that. But they do. I mean, I'm not disputing the fact that the seals are damaging catches. I've seen that myself, and seal numbers have increased. But on a suggestion from a fisherman's rep, one of the PO reps, I contacted we have a couple of very senior vets working with us. The fisherman suggested to me, could we not sterilise seals so that they didn't reproduce? Now, I contacted my veterinary contacts, and they looked into it, and it has been done in Canada. It's been trialled in Canada, and they found a 90% success rate.
But what about, but Johnny, what about the seals that are there now that are damaging the fish stock? Like, you've admitted that it is happening. Like, is it not a case that there needs to be a cull now, that some seals need to be taken out of the equation, if that's the right way to put it?
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't back a cull, but...
Well, why not? If you've just admitted and just agreed that there are too many seals.
Well, as I said, they're protected.
So are deer.
Under Irish law.
But so are the Irish deer in the Phoenix Park.
And they're culled if they get out of hand.
Yeah.
Johnny, this thing isn't Ireland. This, I'm on the board of directors of NIFA, which is the National Inshore Fishermen's Association. This is all over the coast. It's all over the European coast. The French, the Spanish, the Greeks. My wife Trudy was at the Brussels convention last year, where she spoke on seals to the Parliament. Yeah. And every single country that's in the EU that has fishing has this complaint. So, I mean, they're not an endangered species by a long shot.
Johnny?
Well, I mean, they are protected under law.
I know, they're protected under law, but laws can change.
But there is facility, even in Ireland, there is a facility that if you have a seal giving you trouble, you can get a licence.
Yeah,
to have that seal removed.
That's a waste of time, Johnny, because you take one out, one replaces it. and I know firsthand, we packed
as I
up.
say,
We packed up turbot net fishing because of seals. They used to eat the monkfish, and monk, all you'd get is a head coming over the hauler. It would have no tail, no body, and it's still bleeding. Yeah. And it just got to the stage where we had to just stop. When they stopped feeding on monk, they started on turbot. They wouldn't eat the whole fish. They'd claw the roe and the liver out of the fish, and it was destroyed.
Just the one.
Yeah. And that's just not one fish. That's not one seal, like. So that thing of shooting one seal is no good.
Have you ever shot?
The reason. Now, this isn't official seal sanctuary policy, but the reason I think that's, I won't say okay, but if you have a license to kill a seal, it has to be done correctly. What we want, and I don't think anybody wants, is people going out with shotguns and taking shots.
No one wants that. No. But it has to be done in a managed, controlled,
in a proper way.
Exactly.
Are fishermen shooting seals?
No, not that I know of. Not in a long time.
Johnny,
it has happened in the past.
Is it happening now?
We have lots of dead seals coming in with heads destroyed, which would be consistent with being shot. Now, I'm not saying they were shot. There's no proof of that. But let's just say they've come ashore dead with heads destroyed.
Yeah, well,
if you're going to manage the stock, though, you see, you need to have the figures, and we don't have figures.
Well, Johnny, all you have to do is go down along the southwest coast, go down along the beaches there, and down off Arklow.
We've been out with some of the lads too around the Blaskets.
So I was down there last year. I went out to see fungi, and we were just stopped at the Blaskets. I couldn't believe it. I got an absolute fright.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere, yeah. And I have nothing against them. I know they have to eat and they have to survive the same as the rest of us.
But the thing that the fishermen have to keep in mind, though, in the last few years, there's been a tide change in public attitude to the environment between Extinction Rebellion and now I'm not one to be saying, the poor little seal, look at them, but there are a lot of people out there who are claiming ownership now, the public claiming ownership, and if they see fishermen or dead seal pups, there would be war, you know.
Johnny,
I'm sure
we don't want extinction of fishermen either.
Weather we're having now kills an awful lot of seals, pups that can't with the waves breaking on the shore, seals getting battered off the rocks.
There's a lot of dead.
But we get blamed for that.
Storms.
Johnny Woodlock, listen, will you come down and talk to us someday and come into the studio? We'll have another chat about this, okay?
I will do, yeah. I'd love to, yeah.
Please do. Thanks very much.
We're working, as I say, with the fishermen to try and resolve this.
Yeah, there's obviously
without necessarily killing fish.
I know. There's a lot of issues there. Listen, Johnny,
it's a big issue, yeah.
Keep in touch.
Okay,
Thanks very much. I'm just going to read out, thank you very much, Johnny. Call from Tom in the city. He's a recreational angler who fishes out of his kayak. He said there's a huge increase in seals and now they've stopped hunting. They come straight to him and wait to catch a bit of what he gets. The seal almost overturned his kayak one day to trying to catch a fish that he caught. Shane, it's a big problem.
Huge.
And from what I'm getting from you, and again, we're just run out of time on this, ye don't believe that the Irish Seal Sanctuary and the government are working enough with you on this?
No.
So you need to work closer.
Closer.
Is there any way of doing something about this?
Someone's going to have to grab it by the curlies and take it on.
What about the poor seals?
What about the poor fishermen?
Shane, thanks very much. Shane McIntyre, Dunmore East Fisherman. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Now, it's a very emotive topic, the issue of seals, and some people are getting very irate about it. A texter to 083 333 975, our WhatsApp number. The only good seal is a dead seal. All boats should carry shotguns. Let us know what you think, please. Other people saying that the seal sanctuary numbers have increased dramatically because they've no natural predators. And this is because of climate change and all the issues associated with that. So there has to be some kind of a cull, says this other person. Damien, can you please contact Seal Rescue Ireland? Another person saying culling is murder. Whatever way you dress it up, they need to eat too. We won't die without fish. Damien, Why not seal culls? Fishing is hard enough anywhere. Please help the fishermen. That is in from Sharon. Now I'm going to talk with Mary Cummins. Mary is a fundraiser extraordinaire. Mary is stepping away from fundraising after almost 3 decades. Mary, good morning.
Good morning, Damien.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, and
You're looking all right.
thank you for having me.
How's the health?
Not too bad. Few little things, but I can get on with it. Nothing I think that is too bad.
Mary Cummins, you've been involved in so many charity events, so many different fundraisers, so many different committees over the years. How many years have you been involved in public life in Waterford?
Daffodil Day this year, 33 years, 25 years, 26 years, hospice. And then there were other things that I was involved in Sleeverew, in our own community. I was in the ICA and the active retirement in Sleeverew. And I did some voluntary work with the Belmont patients. I used to drive the minibus, collect them from the houses, take them to the workshop. And I had a good life and I had good health, and I'm delighted that I was able to do it, which was good. And the fundraising was great fun. We had great times in the ICA. We had great fun in it. We had competitions, dancing, making models and all of that, which was great. And the hospice fundraising, we always tried to do something that gave back to the people a bit of fun, like the ball race was a great thing altogether, and Roland Collins night, fun fashion nights. I can't remember half of them, but they were all good times. We enjoyed fundraising, that's what I will say to you, and the money came in. Very good money for all of that, which was great. And when things work out for you well like that, it's wonderful.
We'll talk a little bit about some of those particular charities in a minute, but you've decided to step back from public life, is that right?
Well, family reasons. I have to. My husband needs me now, as he has Parkinson's, and it's not easy. I have to be there. There comes a time in your life when you have to have a little chat with yourself and see what's the right and what's the wrong thing to do. And the right thing and the time is now, Damien. It's a chapter in my life now that I'm not looking forward to. I hate having to walk away from everything, but it's a case of having to do. So
it's something you've thought long and hard over because...
I did. I didn't want to do it, but I can't continue. Now, I will continue, say, in the community in Sleeverew, with the active retirement. I can manage that, you know. I do little things for them, organise. As like this week now, I have a group of 18 going to Ronan Collins on Saturday night, you know. Little things like that. I try to. You have to have something. You have to have an outlet. Otherwise, things wouldn't be right with you, I don't think, you know. You need something in your life. But like the big ones, the fundraising where I had to go out and give maybe a day, 2 days, I can't do that anymore.
Because of the Parkinson's?
Because I have.
And your husband's name is?
Michael.
Michael. How long has it progressed? It
is a progressive disease,
yes,
as you know it is.
Has he had it for a few years?
He must have it about 12 years now. Okay. He's confined to a wheelchair now. There's very little support for neurological diseases. Like we have a club in John's Hill in the Cheshire on a Friday. Getting them there now for me would be a hassle. I would have to get a taxi to get them in and out and all of that. But that club is there for anyone. And again, we had to run a fundraiser to try and pay for that. There's no support there for it whatsoever. So they're doing well up there. The people that are going there, they get on a Monday, they have yoga and they have different chat to one another, have a cup of tea, and it's nice to have something. And it's from 1 o'clock till 4 on Monday.
Why, over the years, have you got involved in events and charities and fundraisers? Because some people will leave it up to others to do. What is it within you that drove you forward?
I don't know. I think when you're involved with something, then it comes from that. Take, for instance, the hospice. I was in Ferrybank with Anthony O'Neill, invited me down to Ferrybank. He was one of the first that started support groups in Waterford, and he started it in Ferrybank. And I was there with him for a while, and he said to me, would you not go, he said, and start one in Slieve. And I knew Denise Hughes. Denise was our district nurse, and she was the first hospice nurse. And when she was starting off, they needed money. And I said to her, we'll run a fundraiser for you. And that was the first one. I ran that, an Irish night in the Rue Glen. I used to do set dancing, so I ran an Irish night in the Rue Glen, and it was a great success. And it sparked off from there. Then our own support group in Slieve were fantastic, and they came on board with me. We had a big support group. And
have you any idea how much money you've raised over the years?
Eddie Winberry, Gobby Guttram, used to say that to me too. Same question he asked me, what did you raise? I don't know, I couldn't put a figure on it. But like, we ran nights.
Probably into the millions.
I think so, yeah.
Does it ever make you question society and the way we live, that a lot of things have to be done by fundraising?
It did, yeah. And without the people that fundraise, Jamie, there's a lot of things we wouldn't have. We have great people out there to fundraise, and I'm not taking all the praise for all these fundraising events. I had great people behind me that I wouldn't be able to do it on my own. I had great support. My family were very supportive of me, and the public did appreciate what I know they did appreciate what I did, and they respected me and they trusted me. The honesty. I got people coming up in the street to me, handing me money, cash, that they trusted me. That in itself.
That's a great thing.
Oh, that is just. I'm so humbled.
Did it ever make you angry to be fundraising for things that you think people should be entitled to?
I wouldn't say it made me angry, but it probably annoyed me to think that there's things that people are entitled to that we shouldn't have to fundraise for.
Like the hospice, for example, the Dunmore wing over there now.
Oh, no. You know how much we put into that. It's just terrible. And it's lying there now. A beautiful building. I got a tour of it. It's state of the art, lying there. Not a word about it at the moment. And how many years? 13 years, I think, we're waiting for that. 2007, we were promised that. And here we are now, 2020. It's built now, but it's still not open. Everything in Waterford.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, terrible. That makes me angry now. They asked me to ever. That would make me angry to think of the work. And not me, the people of Waterford, the fundraising, the money that came in, the companies, the public, money poured in for that from the public, and they're entitled to it. They should have it. Without the home care service, I just don't know what we do. We have one of the best home care services in the country in Waterford. The nurses are fantastic, and that's there. But there's a lot of people that can't stay at home, that need a hospice. And to think that that's there, and it's not open yet now.
It's a scandal.
We're on the back burner, Damien, for everything. You see the heart, cardiac, even the breast cancer, the screening. I organised a walk for that. We came out and we walked. And I just don't like protesting, going out. But we were the last in the country to get breast screening in Waterford.
Why is it, do you think? Why has Waterford, or is Waterford, forgotten about sometimes?
I just don't know. We need a minister, I'd say. And hopefully we'll get one this time. I won't go through politics with you now because I'm not...
You're not political?
No, I'm not political.
You just want to do the best for everybody?
Yeah, I'm not. But if we could get a minister in Waterford. Martin Culling was good for us when we had him. There's no doubt about that. And I just don't know why we're left there. We don't shout loud enough, I don't think. I was approached several times, would I protest on account of the Dunmore Wing not opening up? And I said no. Only about a month ago, a man confronted me and said it to me, if I organise a protest, will you come with me? He said, and I said, no, it's there now, we'll wait and see. We're not going to go doing that, I'd rather not. I'd rather not.
They're supposed to be recruiting. When is it due to open, do you know?
Well, that I can't tell you. I just haven't. No talk about it.
What a difficult question to ask, but have you ever had a favourite charity or something you really, really enjoyed being involved with? I know that you may not be able to say, but there were so many different things. But was anything that just really worked really well?
I think it's the hospice.
The hospice.
I think it is, yeah. As people used to say to me that I was the face of it, that was very close to my heart and still is very close to my heart. And I'd still, if I could help out, if there's anything they came to me to do, I'd have no problem helping out, It was very close to my heart. And of course, Daffodil Day, the Slieverue ICA.
You have some figures there about Daffodil Day, have you? From
first group to start it, the first year it started, we were involved, Slieverue. And then Billy Welch and Susan Dawn, the second year, they formed a committee in Waterford and we carried on with them. And that's 33 years this year now. And it's on there's a meeting in the health centre. I've been very supportive. Like, you couldn't do it if you didn't get help from home as well. You just can't walk out and leave behind you. You must be there for them as well. And I had a good life, and thank God, I have to thank God, reasonably good health. And we won't give up.
No, you won't, Mary. Like, as you say, the community in Slieverue are blessed to have you and all the other committees that you've been involved with. And from my personal point of view, I know you a good few years. I want to thank you as well for all the work you've done. And I know people here in WLR would also like to say well done. And all the different people you've helped over the years, Mary. Fair play to you.
Thank you very much, Jamie, and I appreciate that. It's nice. And, I did get a few awards, and I didn't do it for awards. And who got me a big award was Davy Welch, Councillor Davy. Davy Welch appreciated what I was doing for the elderly, the active retirement. And I got a Lifetime Inspirational Award. Davy nominated me for that, for doing that kind of work, You don't do it. I don't do it for that. I do it for the cause. You work for the cause. And
your cause now is to look after your husband, as you say, to Michael. And
a little bit of maritime.
Our thoughts go out to him and to all your family. And Mary Cummins, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you again, please, God.
And thank you to WLR for giving me the time, bringing me on, that I'm able to do this.
And if there's anything in Slieverue now you want to promote, give us a shout, will you?
Definitely. You might be sorry you said that.
Now, a lot of people texting and calling 051 846 123 to say thank you to Mary Cummins. Mary phoned in to say a huge thank you to Mary for all her work over the years, especially with the hospice. Others saying what a lady Mary is, and best of luck to her and her family. Regarding the Caroline Flack death over the weekend, oh my God, says this person, I just had a quick look at a website you're talking about, beautifulpeople.com. What a load of bull. You can even vote as to whether or not a member is beautiful or not. Surely it's only shallow-minded people that would sign up to such sites. A person should never be judged on their appearance. Damien, regarding the two soldiers on Friday that you were talking to about the rope climbing in Syria and the Lebanon, I wish them well, for as a member of the 3rd Battalion gymnastic team in the 1959 and 1960, I can tell you it's the hardest exercise of all. Good luck to them all. And that is from Tom in Dungarvan. Damien, regarding the politics, why can't the TDs form a government for the good of the country? They seem to be all about themselves, not the country. That's from Teresa. Damien, the only reason Fianna Fáil won't go in with Sinn Féin is that they'd be the smaller party. Fianna Fáil are the real hypocrites, says this person. Damien, just to remind, Sinn Féin sat out on negotiations last time round. Why put pressure on Fianna Fáil if people want change to such an extent? Sinn Féin must face up to the responsibility, is much what they have wanted. And there's some pictures just going out on Twitter and Facebook in the last few minutes of Mary Lewin doing the Maracana, the dance up in a community school up in Dublin. So they're dancing as we speak. Damien, my 17-year-old son and 18-year-old daughter are very disillusioned at how the city is being left on the back burner with the hospital problems, etc., and shops closing. Please, can we do something about Waterford and make sure that it continues, says this other texter. Damien, I support the fishermen as a farmer myself, but I think the human population needs to be culled. The planet can't survive if things keep going the way they are. Damien, on the issue of seals, culling does not work. Nature does not allow a species to go above what its environment can sustain. That's from John Tierney, the Association of Hunt Saboteurs. Other people talking about the Caroline Flack tragedy, and we're going to be talking to Tammy Darcy from the Shona Project about that tomorrow. Other people saying that the fishermen are right, there should be a cull of the seals. Now in a few minutes I'm going to be talking to the Club Deise members. Firstly, we're going to have a quick look at the Waterford Business Awards, sponsored by the Port of Waterford. The awards take place on Friday, February 28th at the Tower Hotel. Karen Tompkins spoke with 3 companies who have been shortlisted in one of the prestigious shortlists in the exporter category: Cartamundi, Timber Media and Bausch & Lomb.
The Exporter of the Year category is sponsored by Port of Waterford. First in the category is Cartamundi. The Cartamundi plant started trading in 1977 as MB Games. It was acquired by Hasbro in 1984 and then by the Cartamundi Group in 2015. It has 13 manufacturing plants around the world, manufacturing board games and playing cards. Barry Morrissey is Vice President of Cartamundi UK and Ireland.
Cartamundi are a Belgian-owned company. We have 13 manufacturing facilities around the world. And actually Cartamundi, what it means is it's Latin for cards for the world. And it goes back a long time. And essentially Cartamundi is trading now. It's our 50th birthday party this year, our birthday anniversary. And we're looking forward to celebrating that across the world as well. So we manufacture board games and puzzles for a variety of different customers. Some we've been manufacturing since the very start here for MB and right through to Hasbro and now to Cartamundi. And, we're manufacturing board games, that household names that people would be familiar with going back to their childhood, that have been there for generations at this stage. Probably the number one is Monopoly, through to Cluedo, Operation, Trivial Pursuit, Connect 4. And then for other customers, we do licensed versions of Monopoly, we do Ticket to Ride, we do Sequence, we do 30 Seconds. And the list goes on, but they're well-known brands that people would be familiar with down through the years. And, it's all about, I think, that there seems to be a resurgence in board games in recent years as people try and get the family together as a unit to sit around at the weekends, have a game, engage with the family and sit around, have a board game, rather than have somebody sitting in the corner on the Xbox or whatever. Our business is very seasonal. Typically during the year, our workforce would vary from, somewhere anywhere from 200 to 250 right up to 450 at peak in terms of direct employees. At this stage, we have a lot of experience in the plant here, and a lot of those employees have been with us for a long time, and that experience comes through in terms of the service that we offer to customers as well, with the same customers coming back to us year in, year out.
Cartamundi Ireland manufactures board games and puzzles for the largest toy and games companies in the world, and the products they manufacture in Waterford are sold in the European, Middle East and African markets. Last year, 99.8% of their finished product was exported.
Our main markets are across Europe. So UK, France, Germany are the 3 big ones. And then after that, we would have Spain, Russia, Middle East and South Africa. So they're the main countries that we're distributing to. And from there, we're distributing to warehouses, and the product is then distributed further to retailers from there. We do export almost 100%, 99 point something percent of our product is all exported, mainly across Europe. But essentially, there are an awful lot of containers on the road being shipped out of this plant every day of the week. And rough and tough, about in excess of 1,000 containers go out of here every year. The routes that we use from Waterford here, be it the local port or others, it being so close to that port is a competitive advantage for us, where we're competing with China on a daily basis in terms of getting product in here, where product can be on the water for 8 to 10 weeks plus, coming from China, whereas we can manufacture a product and get it to market within 1 to 2 days if we want to, via the port or doing a drive-on, drive-off basis. So from that point of view, it's a competitive advantage for us. As the region develops, the infrastructure develops further, it can open up new routes or new access to different markets, So yes, we see no reason why that can't improve for ourselves.
Next in the category is Thimba Media. Thimba Media is a digital lead generation agency who help high-performance industries grow by identifying and generating sales and marketing opportunities within their target market. They rewrite the rules on lead generation to grow a company's reach. They've got the tech, the creative know-how and the strategic focus to grow a company's influence. Chris Russell is CEO of Thimba Media.
Last year was our first year of part of the Waterford Business Awards. Thankfully, we won Entrepreneur of the Year. I say we because it's a very entrepreneurial business. We've got about 25 people here in Waterford, I think about 80 people globally. Part of our culture is to build entrepreneurs internally across the business. One of the biggest benefits was our ability to attract talent afterwards. So there's a lot of talent, I guess, post-recession that wants to come back to Waterford and wants to live here, because Dublin's expensive, London's expensive. So they want to come back, and basically it gave us the ability to attract that talent. It gave us a nice platform to work off. Thimba started in 2016. Myself and my wife and an investor built a business previously around a kitchen table in Dublin, and we wanted to move home. I think we were living with 700 people at the time, and we decided to repackage that business at the time as Thimba Media. We got in a partner from South Africa and a partner from London who knew what they were doing, and built the business that's known as Thimba Media now. What Thimba Media actually does is it's a lead generation business, so it helps consumers to make decisions with relevant information. I guess you guys know that the internet is just massive amounts of information that's completely irrelevant most of the time. It's about helping consumers and helping businesses connect with the most relevant information to those guys.
The Thimba team are diverse, multicultural and located all across the globe. Headquartered in Waterford, they have team members in Dublin, Cork, London, Johannesburg, Malta and Finland.
We are based on Patrick Street in Waterford. As I said, we've got about 25 people in that office. And then 80 people globally. So we've got people in Dublin, people in London, people in Malta, people in South Africa. But our HQ is here in Waterford. Traditionally, exporting is a product, but obviously we export a service, a digital marketing service. So we've got clients in probably 20 countries. We operate in, give or take, 20 countries across multiple languages. And we export those digital marketing packages and services into those countries. Japan most recently, which has been great crack trying to learn Japanese. Germany, Finland, UK, Canada, New Zealand. Information and services are probably the next big export for Ireland. Obviously, we've got a massive English-speaking economy, a massively educated economy. We're sitting here on the fringe of Europe, I guess, with the opportunity to export across Europe and globally. So there's a lot of opportunity for an English-speaking country. Waterford's proximity to the rest of the world isn't that bad. 90 minutes to Dublin, 90 minutes to Cork. I've never had a client come into this country and complain about the travel to Waterford. Secondly, I think from a cost perspective, Waterford is much better than Dublin, and also from a talent perspective. I think we have a massive unique benefit here that is going to sustain Waterford for the next 20, 30 years.
And the third nominee is Bausch & Lomb. Bausch & Lomb is a global eye health company in Waterford City. This year marks the 40th year of Bausch & Lomb in Waterford, and they've started the construction of an expansion to the facility. Over the next 2 years or so, they'll add a further 100 jobs, taking the overall number of people employed at the Waterford site to over 1,500. Mark Hennessy is the site lead at Bausch & Lomb Waterford.
This year, it's a very important year for us in Bausch & Lomb. In 2020, we celebrate 40 years of Bausch & Lomb here in Waterford, starting back in 1980 as a very small contact lens manufacturing plant to today, where we're the largest contact lens manufacturing plant in the Bausch Health network, with over 1,400 people here in the plant at the moment. So it's been a great success story. It's going from strength to strength, and one of the great strengths of the company is the people we have here. We've got a great talent base. As we've been expanding over the last number of years, we've been able to continually attract, I suppose, the best and brightest talent from both the local region and also from further afield as well. So it's a great testament to the people of Waterford and to the skill set that we can attract to the company.
Mark Hennessy says Bausch & Lomb have been able to pursue opportunities emerging in the contact lens and eye healthcare sector to deliver to a global market.
So the products that we make here in Waterford, predominantly contact lenses, and they're only made in the Waterford plant. We don't manufacture them in any plants elsewhere in the world. Today we're shipping, our products go to over 120 different countries around the world. So there's very few countries that our products don't end up in. In terms of where we ship to, 25% of what we manufacture goes to the US, 25% goes to Europe, the Middle East and Africa. But over 50% of what we manufacture here in Waterford goes to Asia, and it's a growing market as well. And one of the success stories of recent times has been our BioTrue one-day range of contact lenses. So people might not know we're not just a manufacturing plant in Waterford. We also have an R&D function that develops new contact lenses. And this particular contact lens, the BioTrue range, was developed by the R&D team in Waterford. So we developed a new lens and we've brought it to the market from the Waterford plant. And this particular product is now accounts for over half of what we manufacture in Waterford.
And those are your nominees in the Waterford Business Awards Exporter of the Year category. The winner will be announced on Friday, February 28th, when the awards will be held at the Tower Hotel.
Karen, thanks very much for that. And joined by Tom Shanahan and Liam O'Sapale of Us on Rhine. We're going to talk to you now in a second, gentlemen, about Club Deise and interesting things. So keep it here on WLR. Now, as I said, I'm here with Liam O'Sapale, Us on Rhine, and Tom Shanahan from Mount Sion. We're going to talk about the Club Deise. First, we're going to do the Club Deise mascot draw. We've shaken out the bag. We've done all that. We're going to get out our little... And we have Luke Nugent. Luke Nugent from Kilgobnet is going to be the mascot next weekend. Tell us about Club Deise, Liam. How are things going?
Things are going nicely. This is an element now that's finished today, the mascot selection. But the demand is still there. We have over 560 members. We're about over halfway in the target that we set. Hopefully in Welsh Park next Sunday now will be available for anybody who wants to join. Again, the benefits of joining are basically you get a text of the senior and hurling and football teams in advance of the games. You're in a draw for tickets for the Munster Championship games and for the All-Ireland qualifiers. You're also in with a chance for a week for two in Lanzarote. Bed and breakfast 2 nights in a hotel in Ireland, and of course there are the people that and the businesses that have offered discounts, and those discounts are available for anybody joining the Club Deise. It's £30. If you look at the discounts and use the discounts wisely, you get your £30 back.
€30 even.
€30. Sorry. You're showing my age.
And I've just drawn out the substitute, I suppose, the replacement if Luke can't make it. That's Ava Carney. Well done, Ava. Tom, tell me the demographics of how things Club Deise work. How important is it for people, especially in the East?
The demographics at the moment, I suppose, population-wise, is that the county, there's 116,000 total population in the county. Of that, the city is 51,500. And then you take the metropolitan area, in other words, the Tramores, the passages and all that, the total of the two, the metropolitan area and the city, that comes to roughly 82,000. Now, Damien, if you draw a line east, roughly east of Kilmeaden, that constitutes 70% of the total population of the county. Now, and that's, people would say to you, look, are we creating another east-west situation by calling east and west? That's not what we intend to do. The reason is totally practical. We need bodies on the ground to mirror what Club Deise are doing in the west. Now, Club Deise are performing way above their numbers and so on. They're doing tremendous work out there. And as I said, we need to mirror that effort down here. And that's the reason why we've now set up a committee to address these issues.
And you're chairperson of the East.
and the metropolitan area,
to get more members, because at the minute there's a disproportionate amount of people, maybe 3 to 1, 4 to 1, whatever it is, down the west that have tickets at Club Deise. So it's so important to grow the membership here.
No, at the moment we are devising what I call a contact strategy. It's the best way to contact the business people in the city and the east, and so part of that contact strategy, I suppose, will be writing to all these interested bodies, outlining our aims and aspirations, and hopefully we get a positive response to that.
Well, we'll have you in again maybe in a few weeks' time, just before even the start of the end of the league, and see how things go, because it is so important, Liam, that all the money collected, and it goes to all the clubs and it goes to all the county teams.
Well, it's very important, and again it gives everybody a chance to support in any way they can. And of course when you get the support or a group of people together and things like that, you can help to get more out there. And again, remember, even though we'll be in Welsh Park, as I said, on Sunday, the other side of it, you can go online and contribute, and all of it comes in towards Club Deise and the membership, and that's what we're here about.
Luke Nugent from Kilgobnet is going to be the mascot next Sunday. The best of luck to him, and Ava Carney is the substitute, and the best of luck to her as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll do more in depth about it someday. We'll do a more in depth thing, and just to try and G it up a little bit more. Is that okay?
Thanks very much.
Tom, it's a pleasure. Fáilte Road, Garmil Mahagot. And Liam, we'll have you in to talk about place names now in a few weeks' time.
No problem.
Now, sorry I didn't have more time with the lads, but we'll do that again now in the next few weeks. Thank you very, very much, Julie, for producing. Thanks for all your contributions. The great Jeff Harris is up next, and thanks for all your texts and comments. Hope you have a great day, and hope you're going to have a great week if your children are off school.